Have you received any vaccination against COVID?
I have not.
Why?
I understand that and support fully the freedom to choose, whether you want to get vaccinated or not. And I have not spoken about this before, and I have not disclosed my medical record and my vaccination status because I had the right to keep that private and discreet. But as I see, there's a lot of wrong conclusions and assumptions out there. I think it's important to speak up about that and justify certain things, right? So I was never against vaccination. I understand that globally, everyone is trying to put a big effort into handling this virus and seeing hopefully an end soon to this virus. And vaccination is probably the biggest effort that was made. Probably half of the planet was vaccinated. And I fully respect that. But I've always represented and always supported the freedom to choose what you put into your body. And for me, that is essential. It's really the principle of understanding what is right and what is wrong for you. And me as an elite professional athlete, I've always carefully reviewed, assessed everything that comes in from the supplements, food, the water that I drink or sports drinks, anything really that comes into my body as a fuel that I can benefit from. So I take that very seriously. There's a process of precise decision making. It has been like that for the last 20 years, and that allowed me to endure this much. So based on all the informations that I got, I decided not to take the vaccine as of today. I just don't have enough clarity of how the COVID vaccine will affect me and whether it's going to, create a certain effect on my game, and I wouldn't have the benefits that I would normally have. So I just don't feel at the moment this is the right thing for me to have.
See, that's so interesting because the World Health Organization position is that the vaccine is effective across all age groups. You're not saying that you doubt that it's effective against COVID-19. You're saying that you just don't know the full range of the effects it will have inside your body. And until you have more information, you're not going to have that vaccine.
That's exactly what it is. We are all trying to find collectively a best possible solution to end COVID. I'm part of a sport, a very global sport that is played every single week in a different location. So, I understand the consequences of my decision. And one of the consequences of my decision was not going to Australia, and I was prepared not to go. And I understand that not being vaccinated today, I'm unable to travel to most of the tournaments at the moment.
And that's the price you're willing to pay?
That is the price that I'm willing to pay.
Do you have a particular concern about this vaccine, or a general view that if you have to take a vaccine, it says something bad about your approach to your own health?
No, I don't have anything against the general approach to vaccines. I had vaccines when I was a kid. I just feel that currently I just don't have enough information about this vaccine. And as an elite athlete, I am very mindful of what I put into my body. And I made a decision that I don't want to get vaccinated at the moment.
Where does this come from? I'm so fascinated because I can see that you believe extremely strongly in the sanctity and the sovereignty of the individual and the individual's right to choose. Where does that come from? Why do you think like this?
Well, perhaps it has something to do with my upbringings. During 90s, when I started playing tennis, when I was 4 or 5 years old, we had 2 wars and we had embargoes, sanctions, just waiting in line for bread and milk. It was a very difficult time for my family, and I chose to play the sport that is one of the most expensive sports and very unaffordable sport for a lot of people. And my parents had to endure a lot of hardships in order to allow me to live my dream. And also when I was traveling, I had to very quickly mature and be independent and take care of myself, because I could not travel with my father or with my family members or coaches. So many of the tournaments I traveled alone. So you became self-reliant quite young. I became self-reliant from very early on. And I think that helped me to really, establish my own character from very early on and just hold my ground. What you're outlining is a classic tension in political philosophy, which is
individual freedom and the right to choose versus the collective good. And often in life, they come into tension with each other. Do you accept that what might be good for you individually may be harmful to the collective welfare? If one person chooses not to get vaccinated, that might undermine the collective good.
I respect and I fully support someone, you know, thinking a certain way. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled and have a fundamental human right to choose whatever they want to put in their body. And I just hope that people will respect what I chose.
The Immigration Minister, Alex Hawke, who cancelled your visa the second time, said that you were potentially going to inspire anti-vax sentiment. And the judges who unanimously upheld his decision said, and I quote, "An iconic world tennis star may influence people of all ages, young or old, but perhaps especially the young and impressionable, to emulate him. This is not fanciful," they said. "It does not need evidence." What do you say to that?
Well, I completely disagree with that perception. And I'm really sad and disappointed that I was deported on those bases from Australia. I don't know what more I can say.
But you do inspire people, don't you? You inspire young people.
I do inspire people, but I never inspired people to go out on the streets and protest and be part of the anti-vax. I never inspired that.
What do you say